What's happening? It's your guy King David, trapmonster.com. Say a review over my top 10 VST effects that I like to use in my production. You know what I'm saying? Things that I use in genres like trap, EDM, pop. I do rock and roll tracks, you know what I'm saying? And I do a little bit of R&B tracks too. Let's get straight to it. Hey, all right, now we in this thing. First and foremost, we're gonna start off with Liberator. It's actually made by Sugar Bite. This thing right here is, I'm starting to grow to love it. It's a little bit better than its big brother, I guess you could say. Since the FET Ryx have been out for a little while, but Liberator, this thing right here is a monster in its own. It far exceeds FET Ryx in a lot of different ways when it comes to creativity and adding a little bit of creativity to your tracks. In which, actually, if you guys is interested in seeing a one-on-one step-by-step tutorial on this particular VST, smash that like button, throw me some comments, and I'll get to working on that as soon as possible. The next one would actually be a FET Ryx. You know, actually I should have put this a little bit further up in the list, but it isn't by favorites and the number one favorite or anything like that. It's just the top 10 VST effects that I like to use in a lot of my production. A lot of my business partners, we use it in our production period all the way around. Since a lot of the camp we really use like Logic and Machine and MPC software, it's kind of hard for us to use the next following VST I probably would have placed in here, which is by Image Line Gross Beat for a lot of its effects, but it isn't Mac friendly quite yet, so we're not able to use it as tough as we would like to. But for the most part, I get the job done with a FET Ryx and a Liberator for the most part. And like I said, both of these wonderful VSTs is made by Sugar Bite. Been around for quite some time, and I've grown to love this first and foremost. And then, like I said, I'm just now getting used to the Liberator. Shout out to my guy, DJ Av, man. He actually did a vid on that, and I went and copped it and checked it out, and I actually kind of liked it. So, shout out to him and plugging a cat in with that new little VST. It's just basically about, you know, spreading the love and helping each other out, man. Throwing game out here, building awareness of what's going on in the industry, and how we can advance our production. So, further say more about that, we're going to go to the next one, which is Panorama, and it's made by Waves Art, I believe. Yeah, that's the name of the company, Waves Art. I've been having this for quite some time. I've been using it since I was using Pro Tools, and it's got a couple years back. But it's really good for your mixes, for the simple fact that you can determine where you want to place the sound at in your mix. As you can see, the head right here in your ears in your listening environment, where you can place the sound at, kind of like in the 3D space. And actually, you can go 3D from right here. You can widen the band and the sound, so you can push the sound out far beyond your ear range or your listening environment, should I say. So, all right. Here's another one by the company of Overloud. The B-Verb 2 is far to me is like one of the best reverbs on the market that I like to use. I'm an owner of Waves and um, a lot of different companies that make reverbs. Um, you know what? Actually, there's another reverb that's pretty damn good, which is Focusrite. The Focusrite reverb joint. It sounds pretty good. A lot of reverbs. They do a lot of weird spacey sound. I'm just a classic dude when it comes to my reverbs, basically. You know what I'm saying? I like it to be a reverb, and I mean, if it needs to have sound effect or whatnot, I can apply that to it. But I mean, I'm not too fine for the weird sounding reverbs and stuff. I just like a good classic hall or a plate, you know, or a room reverb, and I can go from there for the most part. So cop that joint. It's pretty damn nice. I'm a big fan of this company too, though. FabFilter, man, their EQs and their compressors for dynamic range is really, really good. And actually, in this one right here, this particular one is the Pro MB, and the MB means multi-band, but nonetheless, it's a compressor that you are able to compress any frequency within your mix or sound. From the mid to the high to the low, and in between you can compress or upwards compress to get the most out of your sound. This is something I definitely go for when I'm on my master channel. I use this to get a lot more dynamic range and just a better all balanced mix. So FabFilter. Excuse me on that. So yeah, that one right there, the glue. I know it's a compressor basically, but it kind of put things in its respective place and make sure it gels together in a way. That's why it's called the glue. But and actually, you know, I'm gonna do an in-depth tutorial about this too, to make sure your mix is balanced and everything is fitting right and tightly glued and just fit well together. This right here can help out a lot. Just copping this. I'm gonna do a deep tutorial about this right here and other VSTs on the market that's similar to this. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it right now because I'm gonna do a tutorial about this here in the near future. So be looking out for this. But hey, this is another one that I like to use when it comes to effects and in the mix. This VST right here by Beat Skills, and this right here it's a compressor as well, but with it being a compressor, it is actually a very unique compressor, because a lot of compressors on the market, this right here, should I say, it has some characteristics in it. It's just starting off, just putting it on your track. It has some things going on in it where you can hear it off top, just having it on the channel. Just, you know, it's one of those plugins, as soon as you put it on there without doing anything to it, that you will automatically see a difference and hear a difference in your song, in your production. So definitely check that out. Let me see here. Speaking of another VST, as soon as you put it on the track, of course, is Vinyl Strip. This company, right? I forgot the name of the company that makes this. Please don't hack me too hard on that, but I can't remember the name worth nothing. I think it's like Audio Erase or something like that. Don't quote me on it too big, but it's something like that. Audio something. This is really good for if you want a vintage sound on your VSTs. I guess you can say more of a vinyl sound. Like definitely if you a producer that likes to dib and dab with samples, and you like that grit to it naturally. Let me see here. Let me give you a good demo of it. I think I might have it silenced. I do. Okay, yeah. Now, my track is not in play, right? There's nothing on this session at all. But you can see just having it on the track itself gives it some characters, some frequencies, and some sounds and some effects going on in it without even doing anything to it. And they have different sounds and things like that. See, more of a vintage mono. I mean, it's just vinyl sounds basically, but just being placed on the track. Yeah, so there's different type of vinyl settings in here, and you can tweak them as well. Of course, you can see, you can give it more bite or gain or whatever you want to do to it, dirty it up, clean it up a little bit, put more drive to it, amount. Mess with the envelopes and the harmonics in it. So it's a pretty fun VST to mess with, to break the monotony of your tracks. You know what I'm saying? Give it some different sound and different feel to it. Let's go to the next one. Would be this one right here, Sugar Bite, by Sausage Fattener. I don't know about to say Sugar Bites, but Sausage Fattener. This right here, let me bypass that sound effect. This particular VST right here, it does really, really well on drums. I use it for drums. It's good for coloring. It's to me, it's more like a saturator and compressor at the same time. Adding color and fatness to your sound. So it's really, really good, like for snares, 808s, kicks, bass lines. You can put it on vocals too, but I normally use it for the percussion end and the bass lines, the heavy bass stuff going on in the mix. I wouldn't necessarily put it on the master track or anything like that, because it'll do some damage. But for the most part, it does pretty damn good. And as you turn the knob here, you'll see the little sausage man face getting pretty damn ugly. And it's like, what the fuck you mad for type shit. But and it's been out on the market for quite some time too. This is nothing new, but I have been using it time to time on my drums. I definitely use it for the bass line and for kicks and percussions and snares, things like that, to give it that much more fat, heavier sound, thicker sound. This is what I go to for that, without doing too much layering and things like that. I kind of normally go to this if I got a good sample, which I do, of drum samples and things like that. I pretty much use this for just to fatten up the drums. This is something new as well, Ascurium. And this particular VST right here is something very, very new in the market that a lot of producers don't know about, or they sleeping on for the most part. This particular VST right here will give you scales and chords, all different type of chords and scales. These is all your scales right here, right? And then you have your chords. You know, you have your funnies, your fifths, and straights and stuff like that, spreading and things like that. So it's a really, really good VST for those who may not know their chords and their scales and things like that, but still wanting to be able to apply that music theory to their sound. You can do that from here. And actually, it's more things you can do in here, because then you can upload third-party VSTs and plugins. You can use it as an instrument, or you can use it as an effect for an instrument. You can bring up third-party effects, or should I say instruments, into it to be able to use the different type of capabilities of ARPs and chords and polyphonics and things like that in here. Let me see. And I'm kind of new to this too. Shoot. Let me see. Tip tools, yeah. I ain't about to go through all of it right now, and I'm going to do tutorials on this. As I learn it more, I will do more tutorials on this. I've seen people that's doing tutorials on it, and they do a pretty damn good job of it. It's just not the way how I foresee this VST, should I say so. But for the most part, it's a pretty good damn thing to have in your arsenal. You can do arpeggiating. You can do a lot of different things in here. You can shape a sound, and I mean, you can take a regular brass, and shape it and do a lot of different things to it that you normally couldn't do with the paintbrush ruler. That you really couldn't do with just any other normal VST, even like looper or anything like that. This is like looper and FET Ryx and all that type of shit, like on steroids type shit, for real. This is something very, very serious to have. I was able to show you a lot more of the hidden secrets that I like to use in my production, and a lot of other producer associates of mine that like to use these same type of effects too. Hope I don't get in too much big trouble about this, but which it ain't no big secret, but a lot of cats and a lot of producers don't know about these things and how to use them in a certain way. So if there's particular VST effects and things like that you guys want an in-depth tutorial about, I can do that. Just leave a comment in the box, man, and give a thumbs up, subscribe if you're a new watcher or viewer to my channel. And until next time, man, don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and let's get in the comment box and let's talk about this. Peace. Video tracks is $25, up to 48 tracks is $85, and up to 96 tracks is 100 BM cats, and you pop cats, definitely for those genres that we working hard for. We got like 25 to 30 sound fonts already.